Hi, this is Vivian again, and I am the author of The Silent Christian, Its Impact on a Nation. And that silence is represented when our voices are not heard and our actions are not seen. And as we talked about in the last video about anxiety, traumatic events, um, that keep us from being what God has called us to be. That anxiety is one of the things that can prevent us from being what God has called us to be. And I wanted to talk about one of the things that I did to overcome my anxiety, and that was to journal. Journaling has some powerful effects um, to help you reduce your stress level, reduce your anxiety level, and to start living a more calmer and peaceful life. And in this world that we live in today, that's what we all need. It's a little bit of calm and a little bit of peace. But journaling, what is journaling? Journaling is just writing down your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions down on paper. So the first thing you should do is find you a private place. It could be in a room in your house where you know you're not going to be bothered for 30, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, however long you choose to journal. Or you can get in your car and journal while you're in your car, or go to the park, or whatever the case may be. It should be a private and place that you can go to where you're not interrupted by individuals or events that's going on around you. And the first thing you can do when you start journaling is write about that event that happened to you. Maybe it was a breakup. How did the breakup? What happened? First of all, what happened to cause this breakup to occur? Or what you think happened to cause this breakup to occur? And then, how did that make you feel? Really? My grandmother used to always tell me, you have to be true to yourself. What really happened? What could you have done? Or what could they have done? How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel betrayed? Did it make you feel sad? Did it catch you off guard? Why did it catch you off guard? You got to ask all the questions, all the little things. Just write them down. Just write it down. And once you get through that process, and it may be emotional, but just keep writing. It may be emotional when you start revisiting that trauma. Maybe it's the loss of a loved one. How do they impact your life? How is your life going to be now that they're gone? What can you do to make your life a lot better? Um, all the little questions, all of those deep questions. Just really take the time to just get it all out on paper. And then once you do that, if it's someone who had done you some harm, or an individual that caused that trauma, or the individual that caused that disappointment or that hurt or that pain, write them a letter telling them about how what happened, that experience made you feel, you know. And I mean, you could say whatever you want to say as if that person is standing right there reading this letter. Just get it all out. Just get it all out. And then you don't have to mail it, you don't have to send it to them. But I think it's very important that you do write it. The next thing you can do is share your story. If you have someone who you can trust, because you can't talk to everybody about everything. There are people out there that tell you, oh girl, you need to get over it, or it wasn't that bad. Um, you should, it wasn't as bad as what I experienced. Somebody who discounts your feelings and your emotions. Um, you want to find somebody you can trust, um, to safely uh, share your story with them, and are able to give you a positive feedback. The last thing you do need to do is to talk to somebody who's going to make you feel worse than you already feel. And I do have some friends like that. I'll call them and talk to them. Girl, you know what happened to Well, girl, it wasn't as bad as this. I blah 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 blah. Those people I would never bring um, personal, private, hurtful, or traumatic experiences to, because they always trying to one up me. I don't need to be one upped. I need to be heard and understood. So find you that person where you can share your story safely with them. And they should be able to encourage you or to motivate you or to extend to you some love. And yes, I do have people in my life like that who I can talk to about anything. And I know I'm not going to hear it down the road or up the street or around the corner. The only time I ever hear about it again is if I bring it up. Those are, and we all, hopefully, we all have those people. Or you can always go get you a coach or a therapist um, to talk over those problems. And you need to share those disappointments and those feelings and hurts and pains with them so that you can just get it out. Because what happens is, if you don't deal with certain things, they just pile up one on top of another, one on top of another. And before you know it, you got a powder keg going up, and you always nervous and anxious and, stressed out. We're trying to get rid of that. And the benefits of journaling, I had to go look this up. Some of it to gain some more. I knew what I was feeling. I was feeling a lot more relief. I was feeling more at peace, feeling more calm, feeling motivated, inspired, encouraged to go out there and do the things that I wanted to do. And if you didn't see the last video, my anxiety or panic attack um, manifested while I was on a bridge, which made me afraid to ride on bridges, to go through tunnels, enclosed spaces. Elevators was one thing that I struggled with. Um, the construction zones on the highways had me, I think I got fingerprints in my steering wheel. But now I don't have that, those extensive feelings anymore when I approach. There are some bridges out there that I'm not big enough to get on yet, but I don't have to take those bridges, and I don't see them very often. But one of the benefits of journaling is it can prevent anxiety and calm you down. It'll lessen your mental stress. You know, it also can improve your mood, because when you sit down and you write out a situation, you can look at that situation and say, you know, the last time I wrote in my journal, I was in this same situation and I got triggered. Once again, you can recognize your triggers, those things that trigger anxiety, those things that trigger stress. You can begin to recognize those, and then you can kind of deal with those triggers. If for me, if I know I'm going to cross a bridge, you know, I don't think about it as much as I used to. But if I'm getting ready to tackle a big bridge, I know that I can pray, I breathe, I like listening to music, singing, all of those things calm those butterflies that be on in my stomach. Because now it's just butterflies, whereas at first it was like, yikes. But I'm just saying, that's the way it felt. It also can help you prioritize your fears and your problems and in your concerns. Because we see something constantly. One of the things I did, I went on YouTube and I started looking at videos about how to overcome the fear of driving over a bridge. And I just watched that video over and over because I was getting a reaction just watching the video, and over and over and over again. That was just another thing that I did. But journaling helps you to see the problem right there in front of you in writing, and then maybe come up with a plan to try and resolve the anxiety issue. So, what's my suggestion? Journaling. Examine that problem, revisit that trauma, revisit that breakup, revisit that childhood um, problem. And if it's too intense for you, I suggest you go get professional help. Everybody doesn't need professional help, but some people do. You know, revisit it, examine it, write a letter to that person, tell them how they made you feel, tell them how their actions affected you. Just spill your guts. Just spill all of your guts out. You don't have to send it to them. You don't have to send a letter to them. You don't have to mail a letter to them. But I think it's important that you write the letter and just get it all out of you, because you don't want that stuff festering on the inside of you. And then find you somebody who you can share your experience with, a trusted individual who truly cares about you and are willing to listen to you. And if you can't find a friend, there's plenty counselors running out here, and there are coaches out here that'll take the time to listen to you and help you work through step by step some of the things to help to make your life more easier. Um, so that's my spiel on journaling and anxiety. I hope you all have an awesome day, and please make the commitment to be a silent Christian no more. Have an awesome day, and God bless you.